Spirit in the Sky is a song written and originally recorded by Norman Greenbaum and released in late 1969. The single sold 2 million copies in 1969 €70 and reached number 3 in the US Billboard chart where it listed for 15 weeks in the top 100. It also climbed to number 1 on the UK, Australian and Canadian charts in 1970. Rolling Stone ranked Spirit in the Sky number 333 on their list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. The song was featured on the 1969 album of the same name. Cover versions by Dr. and the Medics and Gareth Gates have also made the number 1 spot in the UK. Original version by Norman Greenbaum. Greenbaum had previously been a member of psychedelic jug band Dr. West's Medicine Show and junk band. When they split up, he won a solo contract with producer Eric Jacobson, who had previously worked successfully with the Lovin' Spoonful. He was inspired to write the song after watching Porter Wagoner on TV singing a gospel song. Greenbaum later said, "I thought, yeah, I could do that, knowing nothing about gospel music, so I sat down and wrote my own gospel song. It came easy. I wrote the words in 15 minutes. Spirit in the Sky contains lyrics about the afterlife, making several references to Jesus, although Greenbaum himself is Jewish. Greenbaum recorded his first solo album with Jacobson for Reprise Records. The song's arrangement came together in the studio in San Francisco where lead guitarist Russell Darshayel, bass player Doug Kilmer from the band Crowfoot and drummer Norman Mayall worked with Greenbaum. According to one source and to Darshayel, Greenbaum used a Fender Telecaster with a fuzz box built into the body to generate the song's characteristic guitar sound. Moreover, Darshayel explained how he created the song's distinctive beeping fills. "I actually played the lead guitar parts on Spirit, using a 61-62 SG Les Paul, a 68 Marshall Plexi 100W half-stack and a homemade overdrive box in front of the Marshall." Regarding the beep beeps as I call them, when the producer asked me to play some fills in between the verses, as a joke I says how about something spacey like this, and I did the pickup switch string bending thing. I saw him stand up in the control booth and he said, "That's it. Let's record that." So we did the fuzz part as Norman with a built-in overdrive circuit built into his teal pickguard. I've been asked a lot over the years how I did the beep beep guitar parts on Spirit, so for any guitar players out there who would like to learn how, try the following: using a 2-pickup Gibson, set the neck pickup volume to 0, bridge pickup volume to max, with the pickup switch in the middle position. Do a string bend, picking the B and E strings together with one hit, just ahead of the beat, then use the pickup switch to kick in the bridge pickup in triplets as you let the B string bend down 2 frets. I mainly use 2 positions on Spirit, which is in the key of A. For the low position, fret a stationary C note on the E string while bending the B string up to an A note for your starting position, then pick the 2 strings together once while the guitar is silent and work the pickup switch as you let the A note bend downwards to a G. For the high position, do the same thing at the 15th fret holding a stationary high G note on the E string while bending down from E to D on the B string. I must give credit to Jimi Hendrix as my inspiration for this technique. I saw him perform live in a small club in Madison, Wisconsin and loved the way he used his Strat pickup switch to create staccato feedback on songs like Voodoo Child. The difference is, on a Gibson you can start from silence and create the on-off effect, which worked well with the downward string bending thing I did on Spirit. The resulting sound was an innovative and compelling combination of gospel and psychedelic rock music, with loud drums, distorted electric guitar, clapping hands, and tambourines. The production team brought in the Stovall Sisters, an Oakland-based gospel trio, to sing backing vocals. Because of its unusual lyrics and style, the record company was initially reluctant to issue it, but was finally released as a single after 2 other singles from the album had poor sales. Spirit in the Sky became a worldwide hit, and was at the time the best-selling single ever for the Reprise label. Of the song, Greenbaum observed, "It sounds as fresh today as when it was recorded." Unregistered trademark. They've gotten letters from funeral directors telling me that Unregistered trademark is their second most requested song to play at memorial services, Next to Danny Boy. Cultural impact. During John Lennon's scathing 1970 Rolling Stone Beatles breakup interview with Jan S. Wenner, while highly critical of the recent work of many of his peers, including Bob Dylan and ex-bandmate Paul McCartney, Lennon professed a liking the then-current radio single, Spirit in the Sky, stating that he always liked simple rock and nothing else. The song has been featured in the video game Rock Band 2 and many films. Spirit in the Sky was ranked number 85 in VH1's 100 Greatest One-Hit Wonders. It was included on the list of songs deemed questionable by Clear Channel following the September 11, 2001 attacks. The song is used to introduce the starting lineup of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim for home games at Angel Stadium. The song is played at the end of the comedy This Is the End, during the scene when Seth and Jay enter heaven. In the Ron Howard movie Apollo 13, the Fred Haise character opened the TV broadcast to Earth from the Odyssey command module with Spirit in the Sky instead of the planned theme from 2001 A Space Odyssey. Spirit in the Sky is also featured in the 2005 film Longest Yard featuring Adam Sandler. The song is on the soundtrack of Michael starring John Travolta as the Archangel Michael. The song appears in the second trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. It is also included on the soundtrack album, but is not heard in the film itself. Chart performance, cover versions and samples. Bauhaus covered Spirit in the Sky on their 1983 single Sanity Assassin. In 1986 the group Doctor and the Medics reached number 1 in the UK singles chart with their version of the song, while the same year punk band Fuzzbox released their own less successful version. A humorous version of the song recorded to raise money for the charity Comic Relief by the Kumars with Gareth Gates also reached number 1 in 2003, becoming the third version of this song to top the UK singles chart. Christian band Stella Cart covered the song on their 2010 album, Everything is Different Now. In 1991, the Kentucky Headhunters covered Spirit in the Sky on their album, Electric Barnyard. The song was covered by DC Talk for Jesus, music from and inspired by the epic mini-series soundtrack, and was released as a B-side with LaAnn Rimes' song I Need You. Goldfrapp sampled the song for their single Ooh La La. Doctor and the Medics version, Gareth Gates' version, Spirit in the Sky served as the first single from pop idol runner-up Gareth Gates' second studio album, Go Your Own Way. The single was released on March 14, 2003, and was the official Comic Relief charity single for 2003. The song features guest vocals from the Kumars. The song peaked at number 1 on the UK singles chart, becoming Gates' fourth number 1 single. Track listing, UK CD1, Spirit in the Sky a Euro 329, Dance Again a Euro 406, Spirit in the Sky a Euro 325, Spirit in the Sky a Euro 400, UK CD2, Spirit in the Sky a Euro 329, Will You Wait for Me? A Euro 413, Interview with Gareth a Euro 500, UK DVD, Spirit in the Sky a Euro 400, Dance Again a Euro 406, Spirit in the Sky a Euro 325, References. External links, full lyrics of this song at Metro Lyrics.